Welcome to part 2 of making some background bad guide music for a video game. If you didn't watch the first part, go do that. I fumble through making this much of the piece. And there was originally a first video, but the audio wasn't being recorded. So it's just me moving my mouse around and talking to myself, and you can't hear any of it. So there will be other videos in the future, likely, but I am now going to finish up this piece with balancing and some touch and go stuff and a little mixing, and I'm going to go from there. So I'm going to add some bass drum to the piece. So I'm going to start from the beginning. And the bass drum, you know, you barely hear it, but it's there just to give it a little thump. And you know, I'm struggling with this piece a little bit because I want to do so much more to it to make it like aggressive and big. But that's not really what's suitable for the piece. And so a lot of times with music like this, I just have to step away and stop. And that's what I did, is I stepped away. Just because it's, you know, I really want to throw in some really big brass and some bombastic choirs, but it's just like, that's not, I don't think that'll work out well for me. Hans Zimmer percussion booms patch. That's nice for just getting some more low thud. And if I ever need more bass, I just grab a sine wave generator and very carefully, or even Spitfire has some patches with Iceni. That you know, I might just use one of those, and I might just use one of those actually, and you know, it generates low frequencies, and you can kind of keep it under control that way. So now I'm going to add some timpani. I'm going to try to fill in the gaps with the timpani where maybe there's rhythmic holes. I will probably fail in doing so, but I'm going to try. So, yeah, let me just level some of those out there. And I'm going to throw in some timpani rolls. Here and there. It's our little secret. See. You know, just here and there, adding some stuff. And if anybody's still watching at this point, you know, like if you're actually interested in it, thank you for watching. I know this isn't. Everybody always wants to see like big. Oh yeah, show me your awesome epic trailer music. And it's just like, you know, it's like that's great. I don't do a ton of that. I do enough of it, but I just don't do enough of it. I do more stuff like this. That's just functional, practical music in games and stuff. Suspended cymbals. I'm not going to keep those. They're just there for... I try not to put it leading into too many phrases. You know, because it's so easy to get in that mode of being like, up every 4 bars, I'm gonna cymbal swell. Every 4 bars, I'm gonna do it. And it's just like, ugh. You know, it works. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just after, you know, doing that 100 times, maybe the listener doesn't get bored with it, but I get bored with it. Little tubular bells, chimes, if you will. Whoa, got a little carried away with the chimes there. We're gonna stick with that. I'm gonna throw in some wind chimes here. And it's just barely there. You know what I mean? That's the point. It's barely there to hear. The xylophone, I'm having a hard time justifying that at this point. Throw in some Glock. something like that. Sans the wrong note. I forgot to get rid of that. There we are. Beautiful. That might be a good spot to add some choirs. I'm gonna do some choirs here and there. You know, they're just ahs. Just ever so lightly. Right idea there. Wrong note. And you know, I don't think I'm gonna overdo it with bass, sine wave bass. You know, and there's still gaps here and there with the piece, with violin, the second violins and the violas. That I might experiment with some things here, and just to see what we end up with, and if it works, great, and if not, you know, no big deal. Whoa. I have 4 octaves of strings in unison. Don't care for that idea. Could be something there. Could be something there. I like to do patterns against each other, you know? Just subtly. It's one of those things where it's like, I think it'll work. It just really, I'm going to need to make some decisions if it's oboes or clarinets. I've got an idea. So, you know, sometimes it's like this. It's like, you know, at this point, I have a tonal center. Or I guess I should say I have there's a centricity to the piece at this point, and that's you know, it's it's like C. It's like octatonic, but with a root in the C. But I'm not really giving much care to the specifics of what the chords are. I'm just, it's more about texture and rhythm and pacing of those notes. So now what I'm going to do is offset the rhythm from that I copied from the oboes to the clarinet. And that just made a mess of things. So let me put that on my Glock. I'm going to take what my horns and bassoon are playing and put it in my piano. Take what my cello and basses are playing in octaves, and I'm gonna put it in my tuba for fun. Let's see what happens. So now I've done basically a lot of the mixing via CC11. I've done a lot of the mixing already, and so there's not really any mixing. I mean, usually I do a little more than this. Oh, CC. Why is that like that? See, this is I'm working I'm working from an older template right now. And so I'm seeing things like this where my bells, earlier I was like, why are some of my woodwinds off? Why is sable, the volume level's weird? Well, that explains it. This explains pretty much all of that. So yeah, there was a couple things here that are a little off because I'm working from an older template, and this is just now becoming apparent to me. I don't know how I missed that, but so now, what I do now is if I'm looping a piece of music, I just do an audio mix down. Bad guy music, and I always put PL, like pre-loop, because the piece is it is not yet looping. So I'm gonna put it there, and then I'm going to import it back in to the project. And so there's my loop at the bottom here. And then sometimes, I will automate the volume of it, because when I mastered it, I'm doing so little compression to it. It really is just, more than anything, I'm boosting. What I feel like I'm doing is boosting the lows, but keeping everything else under control. So I'm going to solo this. I'm going to disable my plugins here, and we're going to see how this loops. And I modulated at the end, or I didn't modulate. I hit a dominant chord at the end. So sometimes you get that at the beginning of the track, which is not good, that tail. But we'll see. We'll see how it sounds. Sounds wonderful. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching me make some bad guy music. I think next I'm going to make some happy, fun, lovey, adventurous, magical music that's for a contrasting part of this game. So stay tuned, and I'll hopefully post those videos sometime in the next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.